Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord. I'm Tom Vassell.
Hi, I'm Z Garcia.
Hi, I'm Joey Evans.
Hi, and welcome to NPR.
I know, that was very
You
official.
gotta be much more.
This is...
You gotta be more like, hey, it's NPR.
And
it's NPR. We're here today. We're being paid.
he'll know the truth.
Wow.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Board Game Smorgasbord.
We want to say
creepy.
thank you to some of our Kickstarter backers. We want to say thank you to Kelsey by
Kelsey
Nanek,
Grammer?
to Konstantin Sudorakov.
Constantine, like the demon fighting one?
No.
Yes.
The Waters
K.
family, Wesley, Melanie, Amelia, and Abigail.
Abigail Waters?
To Giuliano and
wait.
Mario from Croatia.
Did you say Melanie?
Melanie, sorry.
Is it your daughter's name, Melanie?
It's Melody.
Oh,
and
that's
it's spelled
right,
very
right.
differently.
Yeah, it's Melody. Okay, watch your mouth, Joey.
That word should not be that difficult.
You gonna take this? Are you gonna take this?
Not,
I know you can't do the whole, like, hold my earrings, but you can do hold my frames. You can do something.
my frames.
Hold my frames! Hold my frames! I'm about to lose my mind on this cat.
Thank you to Dejan, to Dennis Wolf, to Sammy, Tanya, and Empu Makinen, and Thor Svanderlund.
Thor! Lord of the Thunder.
You have to live up to a lot if your name is Thor.
I agree.
You do.
But if your name is Loki, you also have a lot to live up to.
All right, if you
Yes.
missed it, Dice Tower East registration went live this past Monday, and tickets are selling fast. So sign up for that. But also, Dice Tower West is coming in just a few months. We just got our airplane tickets for that.
Yeah.
So we are coming. That's good, right? It'd be kind of weird.
I mean-
Like, we decided to skip Dice Tower West.
you guys
this year.
enjoy it. Tell us how it is.
Let us know how it went.
Take pictures.
We'll be there. It's going to be fantastic. And so we'll see you there. It's coming up in March, the first week of March, or second week of March. And we'd love to have you join us. So check it out at dicetowerwest.com.
It's always
Sweet.
fun.
All right. We have a lot of live events today. Well, 3, but
That's
that
a
seems
lot
like
for one single
We have
day.
3?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Smorgasbord now.
That's right, the top 10 this afternoon.
The top 10 this afternoon. And then right after this,
before
we're
that-
playing the new 30th anniversary edition of Robo Rally.
Yeah.
Which you have never
I
played.
I'm excited
Wait,
about it.
you've never played Robo Rally?
No, wait, have you?
Yes, I've played Robo Rally, yeah. Hold on. He will die.
See, I'm excited. I like Robos.
I agree with Z.
And so I take it's not co-op.
Well,
Not this time.
Co-op Robo Rally. Please. No,
Oh.
no. All right. Well, we don't have a lot of news today, folks, but we have some. Let's jump into it. I forgot that the first piece of news is, hey, Dice Tower East.
Hit him with it again one
Do
time.
it again. Tell them all about it. Are we going?
Well, I'll tell you that Sung Wang Cho is going,
Ooh.
and he's our special guest. And I know this because I play a little game on the iPad. It's a roguelike game called Vampire Survivors.
Okay, yeah.
You just run around and fight a gazillion things until you beat
I
them.
can't wait for
you
this
level
tie-in,
up.
by the way.
Well, the voice of Dracula and Death was Sung Wang Cho.
Really?
Yes. I was amused by that because I beat like the final boss in it, and it showed the credits, and I was
Humble
like,
brag.
humble brag.
Yeah. Oh,
After-
I beat the final boss.
After I beat this very easy game.
And it's his voice. Okay, that's very
Yeah.
cool. You can ask him all the questions you want there at the convention about Vampire Survivors.
And Tom
or whatever
Beatty.
I
it
think
is.
he had like 5 lines of dialogue, but
Well,
still.
it's
All
okay.
right.
You know, it's-
All right. What else we got? Dice Tower Patreon. We're really trying to pad out the news this week, but if you would like to back us on a monthly basis, you can check that out. And we have a link in the description of the video. All right. Here's some pretty big news, actually. Sony is said to be in talks to buy Kadokawa, the owner of Japanese board game publisher ArcLight and Tokyo Game Market. They organize Tokyo Game Market also. ArcLight is a company that
Really?
made the little party game that came out this year, Ito. That it came out actually several years ago, but Arcane Wonders is publishing it under
Right.
the Dice Tower Essential lines. And
That's interesting. Yeah, wow. I wonder what got them on Sony's radar.
Well, they already own 2% of the group.
Okay.
And the Katawaki Group also controls From Software, makers of Elden Ring and Dark Souls.
One of your favorite games of all time.
I don't think that Sony's like going, we need Arc-like games.
Sure.
I'm sure From Software is a much bigger thing. And also other businesses like manga, magazine publishing, film, and anime. So Reuters has some sources and says there's talks that could be wrapped up within weeks. Neither company will comment on the situation, which means they're at least talking about it. Otherwise, they would deny it.
No comment.
Correct.
That would be weird if Sony bought From Software, right?
Not really. It's already... Aren't their games already PlayStation exclusives for a little bit at least?
I don't think so.
I thought From Software games, correct me if I'm wrong, I thought there were limited exclusivity on PlayStation platforms.
They might be, but they're definitely on Xbox. Elden Ring is on Xbox and PC.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they come out at the same time for both, but it wouldn't be that big a deal. Companies buy, these big consoles, buy studios all the time, and then get either exclusive rights to their games they make or limited exclusive for a while.
Yeah.
This would be fine. I could see this happening, actually.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I guess, is by the same company. So
Horizon Zero Dawn is from...
Steam. Well, it's not from them. Steamforge is the company who did the...
the board game. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that's what we got from there. Yeah, speaking of Horizon Zero Dawn, I was on my PlayStation last night, and apparently there's a Lego Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Apparently, I heard that came out, yeah.
My son is like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, you're 10. You'll see dumber.
Have you seen the new Rap Lego movie, though? That would be up there, too.
Okay. A new game coming from University Games.
Okay.
We'll show the slide. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
I'm just showing the slide. And now we'll move to the next slide. All right, Splendor.
Okay.
Splendor hits the Silk Road. So Splendor has a new expansion coming out. 10 years later.
Finally.
Wow.
It's this is going to have a pair of expansion modules. You can replace the noble tiles with new city tiles that you compete over to get prestige because apparently, as we've learned watching competitive play of Splendor, nobody buys those noble tiles. So...
But they don't?
No, apparently it's not a winning strategy to go for those.
At all.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's a lot of things I didn't know about Splendor until I watched the people on top play.
That's
There's
crazy.
also trading posts which award bonuses during play. Both can be used on their own or combined with the previous expansion. Yeah, there's an expansion for Splendor called The City, which no one has ever played.
Yeah. This is interesting. It's so long after the fact. Is Splendor really selling that well still?
I still enjoy. Do you think they actually pivot because of things they see at World Series, or do you think the company?
No, I don't think.
I'm a big fan of the World Series of Board Gaming. I don't think they're that strong.
Well, no, I'm
yet.
saying, do you think the strategy? A lot of people know this. Don't buy the Royals because I always go for Royals, but I don't win a lot.
But the Royals are always, even if you're a bad player, they're still like the very last thing you're getting.
Right.
Because you have to get a ton of cards to even be able to get them.
Oh, I know.
I think
Takes me
the
a
thing
long
is to
time.
not, I guess, in the pros, what they're saying is you don't target them. They might happen.
So it's more of a byproduct than a focus.
It's a byproduct as opposed to, exactly. Right. And this sounds neat. It sounds like changing that up is really going to shake the game up a little bit.
Cool. Z-Man Games is coming out with Lovecraft Letter. Now, Lovecraft Letter, did that already exist?
Oh, yeah.
Did it?
So this is just a new version of it?
They are reprinting. It's been out of print for a while, and it looks like they're changing up the artwork. The original has Vincent Dutrait artwork, which is gorgeous. And it was a very lovely deluxe edition clasp, magnetic clasp box, bless you. Poker chips, these really nice poker chips, weighted. Great artwork. It came with sleeves already in the box, themed.
Really?
It's a beautiful production. Went out of print. I guess it's been hard to get for a while. So coming back here, using the artwork from the games.
This isn't coming out for a bit. March 28th of next year. What I find weird about this is that this is a Z-Man production. Now, I understand Z-Man and Fantasy Flight are owned by the same Asmodee, right? They're owned by the same company, but it's still, they usually don't crisscross. I mean, this looks like a Fantasy Flight production. It's that's the logo, Arkham Horror. I think that art is from some of the Fantasy Flight games.
Yeah, that guy, the fisherman guy, I forget his name now. It's the artwork from, that artwork is from Eldritch Horror.
Yeah, so it just is an odd crossover.
Just hand it over. I mean, cross the aisle and hand it over to them. To
Fantasy
FFG.
Flight just should rename themselves. Like,
To what? Go ahead, lay
the
it.
card company. I mean, all they're doing is Star Wars Unlimited and Marvel at this point, and Arkham Horror. Those are the 3 games.
Yeah.
Firefly.
What?
Hmm?
FFG doesn't do Firefly. Did they do Firefly?
No, Gale Force 9 did. But I just want to say Firefly.
Why? Be quiet.
Because you're naming IPs that you like. I want to throw something in.
No, we're talking about. Did you want to participate, Joey? Here, you can say the name of the next game.
Oh, really?
Go ahead, little buddy.
Next is Cascadia Junior.
Aww.
There's a reason you gave that to me.
It is so good. It is so good. All right.
That hurts me. Okay,
You know
that
what
is
blows
pretty
my
cute, though.
mind? That this artwork apparently is also from Beth Sobel.
Really?
I think that's what I
Huh.
I think I read that. If so, it says it on the box. That's really cool.
And it's cool how they kind of matched it, but then made it
They did, yes.
like a kitty. I mean,
Oh,
really good.
that's exactly my point. That it's yes.
It's
Oh my gosh.
really-
Did he just wake up? What's
I
going
did.
on?
I mean, it's so cute.
That's the.
Hey, guys, I think this is the same artist.
No, I'm saying how they match the scene is what I thought. I don't know.
That's cute.
Okay, so
very-
this is a stepping stone game where you teach your kids basically Cascadia one step at a time. So as time goes by, you'll learn how to use the wildlife scoring cards. And then there's an advanced mode, which has more complex shapes. And then once they do that, then they're basically trying the family mode of the base game. And eventually, Cascadia. This is a gateway drug for your kids. But actually, that's all fine by me, especially the art. I would actually rather play with this art than the original art for Cascadia.
Really?
Yeah. I like this art a lot.
I am very curious if this will feel like Everdell, Lil Everdell,
My Little Everdell?
that then really wasn't that good for kids, so they kind of
Right.
like backed off of that. I don't know. I don't play with children, so I'm not sure how much they can or cannot handle, but I always worry that they overestimate what the kid can do and sort of
Yes.
the cognitive load they can handle. Kids are stupid.
You heard it here first.
The Dice Tower. That's going to be the other thing. Z Garcia. Kids are stupid. All right. Anyhow, our last piece of news, unfortunately, is more of a grim nature, and that is Corey Heath, the designer of The Gang. That's just going crazy with its sales this year. And Zendo, he's been designing for 20 years and passed away just a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find out more. A lot of his fellow game designers have written in memoriams for him online, so you can go read some of those and learn more about his life. Loved Zendo for many years. That was good.
Yes.
A lot of fun. And so he's just designed various games, which you can find on his Board Game Geek profile. And that is actually all the news, folks. Not a lot this week. Let's keep moving.
Boom.
All right.
I had these guys say Merchants of the Dark Road for the last one.
You did. That's.
Did you guys get it? Mike Heller got 4 out of 5.
Hey, I've got a question for you guys before we get to the top 3.
Yeah.
situation. You got to solve something.
Yeah.
We're going to Orlando, right?
Right.
On Monday.
This is what you've been waiting to tell us.
I've been waiting to ask you. I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
We're driving.
I'm
It's
there.
like
I'm put me there.
very back road to Orlando, right? Country
Yes.
road type thing. We
Yes.
see those little signs this big that says
How big?
beef,
How big? How big?
like this big, you
Okay,
know. And then like beef jerky coming up. And you drive a little more, really good beef jerky.
Yeah.
It's almost here. And I'm like, this is great, right?
Yes.
So then we see a van on the side of the road with an umbrella and a table selling beef jerky. My wife would not let me stop. Would you have stopped and bought beef jerky off a van on the side of the road?
100%.
You would
Your
have.
wife is a monster.
Right?
No, Joey, I'm with her. I don't buy beef jerky from the back of a van on the highway. I'm pretty sure that that's
was
not.
driving?
Look, I'm
I
fairly
was
certain. Look, here, let me explain to you what was going on, okay? Some rando with a van and some loose beef jerky saw signs that said beef jerky coming up, really good beef jerky coming up. Pulled over and started selling beef jerky before you get to the good beef jerky.
Okay, no.
That would be a great horror movie. As you're like, okay, we're not going to do it. You keep driving. Then you see the real beef jerky. And you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And then you ask them, there's some guy selling beef jerky, and they're like, Old John? Old John's been dead for 10 years.
Okay, you just took it in a turn. That's
Actually, he bought out the place who sold beef jerky.
He died in a horrible beef jerky accident.
All right. So we're actually getting pretty close to the end of the year here. I know it's just the end of November, but next week we're not doing Smorgasbord because of Thanksgiving. The week after that, we are doing Smorgasbord, and then the week after that is the Winter Spectacular. There's only a few left. So
Yeah.
we're just kind of early and talking about best pop culture. We're not even doing movies and TV shows. We're combining them. So it's movies or TV shows, and I'm glad because I would have struggled with movies this year.
I'm telling you, I don't watch a whole lot of TV shows. And this year didn't see a whole lot of movies, so I think I would have struggled also with not combining them. Certainly on the TV shows one.
I would have been okay with movies,
We know. We know.
but I would have got a lot of judgment.
You're going to get the judgment
I
regardless.
really am. I already know.
What you got, Joey?
All right, what's your number 3?
Am I going first?
Yeah.
All right. My number 3 is a movie that I looked forward to, and it did not let me down because in a world of CGI...
That you had narrowed it down.
No, I
at all.
know. Nothing lets me down, by the way. In a world of
fair.
CGI, it's neat to see someone go back to practical effects. And this is a sequel, Beetlejuice. We've probably watched this 3 times now.
Oh, wow, really?
At home, and I liked it. We liked
Is this
it first.
out? You can watch it
It's
at
out.
home now? Oh, okay.
Officially, yes.
Is it online or did you pay for it?
It's I think you can rent it. I'm not sure if it's streaming free somewhere. But it's actually really cute because the first Beetlejuice was so almost hokey in its time because they used the practical effects, the sandworm and all this.
Yeah.
So his whole philosophy was to lean into all of that. No CGI, just full practical effects on everything that happens. And it works on this. It gives you the
Right.
same feel. And she does a good job. I forgot what the girl's name is that played Wednesday, Jen Ortega. She just fits in this role perfectly. It gives you the same feel of the original one. They have that like musical moment in this where they sing not the same song but a different song, and that whole charade. It's really good. It's just a feel-good Halloween movie. So I really enjoyed this. So I honestly think it'll get more play now that it's going to be streaming than people going to see the theater. It is one of those things that I think it showed that the world is kind of tired of CGI at this point. The practical
Well,
effects.
I know you say that, but the CGI movies have made billions this year. So
Yeah, but it's
that's kind of an erroneous thing. You're like, oh, people are tired because one movie came out that used practical effects.
Are you not tired of CGI everywhere?
I like CGI movies as long as it's done well.
You mean
When I watch Jurassic Park, I don't go, boy, I wish they had used
No.
stop motion.
those were real dinosaurs, though.
Okay.
I don't
Jerky.
think that's real.
It's not true.
Okay,
Don't
my
look it
number 3, is it me?
I haven't seen this, so I can't really comment.
You would like it a lot.
I like it.
Jimmy would love it.
I watched it. I liked it. I thought it was nice to see that it was not mean-spirited.
Right.
There's something about it that felt,
Just fun.
yeah, and wholesome is maybe too
Yeah.
strong, but sort of not mean-spirited is nice to see that.
Almost feel
The
good.
stakes aren't that high. The whole thing is sort of like,
Silly.
it's good. This is good. I'm glad that this is
I like
not.
the first
what
one
it
a
was.
lot, so I might like it.
Yeah. All right, my number 3 is a TV show, one of the few TV shows I saw this year, but it's one I was very excited about and did not let me down. That is Fallout.
Oh,
The Fallout TV show. I thought it was a good season. Good season of TV. It was neat. It gave people a lot of fan service. It did its own thing well. I liked the characters in it a lot. I thought they were interesting.
I hate the guy in the
suit mech. Yeah. He's a strange character. You never knew. Like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he a good guy with a temper? Is he like mistreated puppy dog kind of character?
That's what he feels like. He feels like a puppy dog that got kicked too many times.
Yeah, and then every now and then he just kind of bites. You know what I mean? But when he bites, that means like he kills somebody. You know.
It's so cute.
I
thought Walter Goggins was amazing in this.
He knocked it out of the park. The whole thing was, if you like Fallout, and you kind of have to like Fallout, I feel, to really get into this.
That's what I wonder, because I have not played the game.
Okay.
So would I
You might like it still.
Okay.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm curious to see what you would think. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good show, and hopefully they keep making seasons of this stuff. So there you go. That's my number 3.
What was it on? Prime?
Yes.
Okay.
My number 3 is the only movie on my list, actually. Although I had some other movies on my short list, but I think one of them will be on Z's and one might be on yours. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, I really like this. You haven't watched it yet. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
It's got Reacher in it. I forgot.
Which is weird because if you said, hey, Tom, how much you like Guy Ritchie movies, I'd be like, not particularly.
Mm-hmm.
But this one feels it's a little close to...
Tarantino.
Yeah, Tarantino's Inglourious movie.
Yes.
It's a little bit like that, but it's also more like, I don't know what to describe it, but it just has this cool almost, it's like almost Ocean's 11-esque. We're like, let's go get the gang. Let's go get all the people who are going to go on this mission. Now let's go complete the mission. I mean, and the very opening scene is such a great scene.
It's a fantastic cold open. Nothing else in the movie actually kind of matches that cold open. And it feels very much like the opening for Inglourious. Yeah, it has that
tongue-in-cheek type thing?
No, that's sort of like you're holding your breath for something to happen. You know, and the opening for Inglourious has the same thing where you're like, why is everyone just talking? Something's about to explode. Something's going to happen. It has a very similar feel at the beginning. But it's lighter hearted than that, even though it's in the middle of war. This one, in a weird way, Tom, kind of feels like the Beetlejuice movie in that the stakes, while high, there's never that one scene where you're like, oh, gosh, they just did that horrible thing. Like, they went really dark. No, they kind of keep it bumbling along. Yeah, things explode, you know, they're taking out the bad guys and whatever, but it's almost like an easy viewing movie in a way.
It is, because I'm not going to say that no one dies, but it's not one of those movies where everyone dies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I'm always worried about when I see these movies. They're like, let's go collect all these people just for you to watch them die one by one, and only the hero and heroine makes it out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I liked it. I was surprised.
Yeah, that opening scene was available on YouTube, I think. So I watched it, and I was like, well, then I got to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just a great opening scene.
They got you.
And I really liked not Henry Cavill, who looks small next to
Alan
Rickman.
Yeah.
He's becoming one of my favorite actors.
Yeah,
I agree. I really like him and stuff. He's really funny in that opening scene because he's affecting this whole like, why are you guys on my ship?
Yes. He's being silly.
That's my number 3.
I need to watch that. All right, my next one is the only TV show on my list, I believe, but this is a TV show that we watched the first one. We just ended up binging it quick. This is an Apple show. It is Masters of the Air.
Really?
Masters of the Air was incredible. Was Elvis, whatever his name was.
Yeah, with Elvis, yeah.
Yeah, it was, first of all, I didn't know the history about all of this, which is just fascinating for me, but it's just the amount of planes that got shot down, everything that goes into it. This was just incredible, I thought.
This kind of blows my mind, though, that you really like this, and then it took me forever to get you to watch Band of Brothers.
Oh, and I went from this to Band of Brothers, by the way.
Did you like Band of Brothers?
I did. I liked it a lot. I don't know how I hadn't seen that either. Yeah, it was.
This is less cohesive. I started watching it, and I struggled because it was jumping around a bit and not necessarily chronological.
Yeah.
And Band of Brothers was not that way.
Okay,
you could know these guys and go through. This one.
In Band of Brothers, I've never seen it. Does anyone die?
No.
It's fine. You'll be
okay, all right.
It's a feel-good. But no, this one was really...
Mike Ellis says Elvis was an excellent pilot.
He really was. And he still talks like Elvis, by the way. I think he's just changed his voice permanently to that.
I know he said in some interview that he was having a hard time dropping it.
He did not drop it in this.
You got to drop it, buddy. Like, go home for a few months. You know what I mean?
It's not dropping in this one. Yeah, it was. I just thought this was really good. So if you...
That's interesting. I've heard of it a little. I did not realize this was something to kind of put on the radar.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly Apple TV has done a lot of great ones.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so this was great.
All right. My number 2... what was my number? I think this is my number 2. And this was my number 1. Yes. Is one I expect somebody to have on their list. It was a big money maker this year. The number 2, I believe, most funded thing or the biggest blockbuster, in the box office was number 2, and that is Deadpool and Wolverine. Is that 2? Yes. Okay.
Quick, what's number 1?
Inside Out 2.
It is. It's insane.
That is crazy.
I would never have expected
I looked
that.
at it yesterday. He's cheating.
I am cheating. He told me yesterday.
Oh.
Wouldn't have told him that. He would have been like, I need to ask all my movie questions to Joey now.
You know what number 3 was?
I forgot. I just looked at the list yesterday. I don't.
Despicable Me 4.
Oh, I'm telling you, cartoon
Like, what?
sequels make money.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I heard that one that wasn't even that interesting. It's 4. I mean, and plus Minion movies. That's like the 7th movie in that series.
Yeah.
And they made almost $1 billion globally. That's
and it's
insane.
because
to
the
me.
Minions. That's it.
Anyway, Deadpool and Wolverine, I thought was very, very fun. Now, I still hold out that this is not as good as 2. I think it's less cohesive than 2.
Oh, yes.
But it's a lot of fun. You have returning characters, plus, of course, you get to throw Wolverine in there, and you get to see him come back, do his thing. Having fun with the comics, accurate stuff, having fun with all the references to comic books. This is... I know a lot of people are like, oh, fan service is a cheap shot. I'm like, this is fan service galore.
But it was
It really
surprised.
is.
The middle part of this movie is my favorite.
When
There's unexpected characters.
Yes, right.
And I mean unexpected characters.
I agree.
But they fit.
Yeah, no, it's good. Again, this is going to have a lot of fan service, and if you're okay with that, you don't sort of scoff at that, then I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, this was my 4 right off because I mentioned it last time for the best opening. I will say I wonder if this could be like Force Awakens when I don't go back. I loved Force Awakens when I watched it, but it was like the nostalgia. This one I think has more than just that. Because
There were some good fights
Yeah,
in there.
I found myself when I watched it the second time on the plane, I found myself fast forwarding through some of the stuff.
Did you really? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember thinking some wow moments, but that was because the first time somebody shows up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'm going to do the same thing as I rewatch it in the future, is that idea of like, I want to watch this one moment again.
Right. The van fight scene, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, picking moments, yeah.
So
that's my 2.
All right, my number 2. I am not an animated fan, and I am definitely not an anime fan at all. But this one blew me away, and it was must-watch TV each week with me and my family, and it's become my favorite anime, I think, ever. And that is Delicious in Dungeon, which Joey just forgot about.
I forgot. That would have been on my list.
All right, so tell me about this again. I think you've mentioned it, but
Delicious in Dungeon is
just from Netflix or something?
it came out
Okay.
January 4th, I think was the first episode.
All right.
But it's an adventuring party. They're in a dungeon, and when you die in this dungeon, they drag your body back to the surface, and a healer brings you back to life. It's like a typical D&D type thing.
Okay.
It's full on
But
D&D.
they can't get far enough down the dungeon because they always run out of supplies. But then they meet a dwarf, who is voiced by Sung-Won Cho, and he's like an excellent chef. So they're like, can we eat the monsters we kill? And so it's half cooking show. He'll be like, mix some mushroom. Come over here. And we'll pause and show you all this dish cooking stuff.
Which is real cooking or like as a joke?
No, but you sit there and think, I could eat that.
I could make this.
It looks really good.
Right. So, but it's so that part's funny, and it starts out as a comedy, like a lot of animes do, where they're like, no, we're not gonna eat the monster. Okay, we will. But it becomes a pretty huge story as it goes by. There's this, why does this dungeon exist? Why do people come back to life? And it's pretty impressive. I was very, very.
That's almost like What's the one with the people wearing the pink outfits with the shapes? The
Squid Games?
Yeah, it sounds like Squid Games begins as one thing, and slowly you're like, oh, it's a bigger story. There's more to it. It almost sounds like it's about something else.
My kids have said that most anime is like this. Where
the depth surprised me.
Yeah, and it really, I was like, when is season 2 coming out? Because as far as I can tell, I was reading up online, this has followed about half of where the manga series, which did end.
Okay.
So maybe season 2 will finish it. We'll see. I don't know.
Not mind that.
I really, really like it. So Delicious in Dungeon.
So
would have been on my list.
I really thought it would be.
I forgot.
So
for some reason, we
weird.
watched it twice. So I'm like, I just assumed it was last year.
You've seen the whole season twice?
My daughter just started watching it again, the first one, and now we're like, all right, I guess we're doing this again. But it was
And it's funny
really
because
good.
it gets more and more serious, but there's still a moment where you just laugh. Like there's one moment where they run into some monsters who are doppelgangers, and they morph into versions of them that are drawn by different anime artists, and they're like, which one of them are real? And you're like, are you stupid? It's that one right there. Because the guy just looks completely different. But it's really funny.
It's got some great moments in it. And they start chasing monsters because they think they look delicious. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, we haven't eaten that one yet.
It's like monsters like, what are you doing?
That's pretty good.
It's good.
Okay, all right.
So-
Maybe I'll check it out.
Okay, so anyway, my number one is a movie that snuck up on me. I have seen this twice, but it was with, I think Ryan Gosling's in it, but it is Fall Guy.
That's my number 4.
Fall Guy.
I thought that was going to be a crossover with you for your number
I
one because
thought
I've
so
heard
too.
you talk about it a bit.
This was great.
I really like it.
I mean, it's like so tongue in cheek. It's about a stuntman, and everything is just, it's just so fun. You mentioned fun. It's just a fun movie. It's got like a romance to it and all that, and kind of a spy type thing, but it's got everything. It's just a fun, enjoyable movie. You laugh a lot. There's one point where the guy's like, I guess he gets drugged, and he goes to the guys who drugs him. He's like, when does this wear off? He's like, when you stop seeing unicorns. And he looks and he sees a unicorn standing there. He goes, okay. And it just randomly, there'll be unicorns. He'd be like, shh, still in the system.
Wow.
It's actually one of the best depictions of someone being on drugs because it's like all weird, but it's kind of normal. But then you're like, okay, maybe it's not normal because there's a unicorn.
So it's like you kind of figure out. He's like, I can't trust me. But it's really, really good. Yeah, this was a surprise. A fun, light watch. Yeah.
I have not seen it.
I actually initially wrote Hitman instead, but then I realized it was no Fall Guy.
No, Hitman's a very different movie.
It was. I'd
I
noticed
think I know
that.
you're number 1.
Hitman? What's Hitman? What are you talking about?
It's that one with a guy with the glasses, like a true story from some hitman from like, I don't know, Australia or something.
I think he's like masquerading as a hitman, right?
Yeah, I never actually
something
watched it. It looks
I don't
dark.
know that. All right, my number one is...
Is it
Build it up.
not a whole movie?
It's not a whole movie, no.
This is my number 5.
Wait, it's not a whole movie.
Dune Part 2.
Okay, yeah. This is on my list too.
I mean, come on, it's Dune. It's the second part of Dune.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Mike DeLisio. I said, Mike Heller knows what's up. We're going to get that Dune, the Z Dune music.
I
Except
gotta say,
I cracked on purpose.
there's some pretty intense moments in this. I mean, I thought the first one was good. The second one was better. And just great moments.
I think they make one really good movie.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the second one actually better than the first. I don't know. I don't think so. I think
The
I like the
arena
first
battle
one.
is
Arena battle's
amazing.
good.
The scene where he transforms into some sort of little dictator in front
Yeah.
of Fremen was great acting from him, I thought.
Yeah. I think for me, it kind of like my issue with it, not my issue, I like the movie a lot, but the reason it maybe isn't as good as the first one for me is I'm left with a lot of questions at the end, more than things were answered. I'm left with more questions than answers. And at the end of the first one, I'm like, all right, well, the story's not complete.
Right.
Like, obviously, I'm waiting to see what happens next. But I get it. The books are like that. The whole world is very mysterious. You know, you don't get concrete answers all the time with Dune stuff. I did like it a lot. I think it's a fantastic movie. I think it lived up to, it needed to be as good at least as the first one to deliver that second half feeling, and I think it did.
The only thing I don't like about it is, and I love him and everything else, is Christopher Walken. is a weird emperor.
Yeah, he's barely in it, to be fair, but yeah.
He feels like Christopher Walken.
Sure.
He always. This one I liked because I did not know the story of it. I intentionally watched the first one, and the second one I was like, he's the bad guy. The ending was like, I don't know. I liked it a lot, just because
he's the bad guy. Like he becomes the bad guy. The
decision he made at the end, I'm like, wow, I did not see that coming.
Yeah,
well, the changes they made from the book were good.
Oh, I didn't know there were changes.
Become a Zendaya character. They had her character a much bigger part, and her trying to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't become the Messiah type thing. That did not really happen in the book. And I thought it was a good change in the movie, where at the end you see her like fade.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
All right, my number one is a TV show that you also really like, and probably also I've forgotten. This is a show that just caught me off guard. I saw a blurb for it on Netflix, like when your mouse just sits there and it plays some.
Yeah.
And it showed a woman shoplifting groceries, and I was like, that's a weird, but she was doing it stealthily, like sliding them up her sleeves and everything. And it's House of Ninjas.
Oh, I forgot about this one too. Yeah.
House of Ninjas is a TV show about a family that is put together. They are all ninjas. The two parents were they were paired together, and now they're husband and wife, and they actually have kids. And as their kids get to a certain age, they become a ninja.
Yes.
They're all ninjas, but the oldest brother dies in a mission at the very beginning. And so they just are like, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. And the father kind of demands that. He's like, we're done. It's too dangerous. We're not doing it anymore. So they're all trying to live normal lives, except they keep doing ninja things in their normal lives, which is pretty funny.
Okay.
Like the mother shoplifts not because they need the money, but because she's just bored and wants to use her ninja abilities.
Got it.
And so they all slowly get sucked back into the ninja world. And it's really funny, but also a very strong story, I thought.
It is.
With a good beginning and ending. Like, I think there could be a sequel, but you would be satisfied with the single season.
Interesting.
Oh, there's got to be a sequel.
Maybe, but there's just some really great moments, especially with the dad, because the dad is the last one to get sucked in. He's like, I'm gonna live normal, and then this family.
He's like the best ninja.
You're not bored. You're not bored with this, and he is, but he's just. And his mom is also a ninja. The grandmother's a ninja. So every once in a while,
they do side ninja gigs, and it's like this one of the daughters like steals things from the museum, just take home, take a picture of it, and then puts them back in the museum. It's just like so bizarre.
She steals stuff from museums and puts them back to show that their security's bad.
I don't know, and they work for the government. It's
and
good.
There's a little kid in the house who is not stupid. He's like watching. He's like, that didn't make sense.
But he doesn't
he'll
know.
see his grandmother. She's out in the yard, and the mom's like, time to eat. So he walks in the house, and his grandmother's sitting at the table. And he's like, huh? Because she just ninja'd her way on the side.
Because he doesn't know until they're a certain age that they're all ninjas. Okay, it works.
But I mean, I'm making it sound like a comedy, but it's only partially a comedy.
Okay, all right.
It's really good.
Interesting.
So anyway, that's what we got, folks. Our favorite pop culture movies and TV shows of the year. I'm sure there might be some other changes, but I tell you, when I went through the list of movies and TV shows, I was like, huh.
Yeah, it was very...
It was fine.
Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a few things I haven't seen this year. A lot of things. Some of the big ones, which I'm not really expecting to be on this list, like the Godzilla and Kong thing. I don't think was good.
In fact, if we do bottom three, I'd put that in there. That was terrible.
It made a lot of money, though. It was on that best fun, most moneymakers.
Here's one that didn't. Twisters. I like Twisters a lot.
Twisters was almost on my list.
It was fine.
I thought it was just a good, again, not feel good, obviously, it's Twisters, but it's like, it just, the old school feel of the movie.
A movie I liked a lot was Fly Me to the Moon.
I have not seen that.
Let's see that.
That was a pretty good one.
I had Beekeeper. I like that, but that was
I almost put Beekeeper. I really like
it's just
Beekeeper.
Jason Statham doing it.
That's great.
There's no reason for it.
No, that's why I didn't put it on there.
But it is one of those movies like, Beekeeper. Yeah, I'll watch it again.
It was just,
Really?
he's a beekeeper.
Have you seen it?
No.
No, I've heard it's kind of like a John Wick, but my man is a beekeeper.
The government moment where he's like, he's not just a man, he's a beekeeper. He goes, oh no.
Yeah, they're like, he's like, well, you're dead. Nothing we can do about it. Sorry.
We can't protect
he's
you.
coming for you. There's nothing we can do. Sorry. See you later.
So it's like, are there a bunch of beekeepers? Is that a thing?
They're trained by the government to go after the queen.
I think they did
which
it.
are like assassins.
I think they did it John Wick style. They show one other beekeeper, and I think a former beakeeper. And
okay, so it's like a secret.
They'll save the lore for part 2.
Yes,
like, that's what they did with John Wick.
Okay.
That, and then 3 body problem was also on my short list, but that was fine.
Oh, that's interesting. That one had a lot of boringness to go with the good parts.
It did. I don't know if it was worth it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right.
All right, well, let's keep moving. All right, if you watched my boring unboxing this week, you saw I got some stuff from Modern Meeple in here today. And so we're just looking at this. We've already looked at it, and our biggest thing is we're still trying to figure out what the material is.
Yeah, it feels kind of like wood, but very densely packed, very smooth. It kind of has that feeling of rewood.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing is particularly compacted wood and glue, making, something kind of like plywood has layers. This is more like a mulch than compressed particularly well, so that you have this really finely grained finish.
You like the feel of it? It's got
I do like the feel of it,
the cork type feel, yeah.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
All right, so there's 3 products. They have a few more on their website. I went and looked them up. So they have the player board here. So this is a board where you can keep your cards. It has some built-in components, and then you can put these hexes in it. And there are several different hexes. There's the open one. There's a dual one that also holds a card. And then there's a triple one. There's also some more on the website. I saw one that just has a bunch of lines through it, like a grid. And it says it's for cards. You can just put cards in different ways in that one.
Okay.
That's cool.
So this is cool.
Those are neat for player.
And they have a small Lazy Susan, which spins very well on the table. And again, you can switch out the hexes in it. And then they have a very large one.
Which is made for?
This is clearly made, I went to their website, clearly made for Quacks of Quedlinburg. Because each of the colors here, you put the tokens in, and then you put the card in the middle.
Right, and they look like this. Obviously, these are all the same size, so this originally, the 3 here, came with the full colored one, sort of like a single space. It comes with these. You can do whatever you want, of course, but that's what came like that. But then, you're talking about Quacks. That's what this would be for, right? The card in the middle of the bid, so you can see what you're buying. Spin this thing, get the one you want close to you. It's quite large, and it's kind of crazy for me to get this for one game, unless you're playing that game, all the time. The multi-purpose ones like this, I really do like. I think this is a great idea. And even if you split it up like that and kind of get the configuration you need, the 3 spaces or the split in halfsies here. But yeah, this can easily sit on the side of a table and be super useful.
Yeah, I'm curious. The player board ones I think are also good, but it's not going to be used for every game because that board I might need to have other things in front of me. They actually have a thing on their website which was sold out that was made for Dice Throne. They made specific boards. Also going to their website, these things are expensive.
Yeah.
Like I believe the player board was like $40 or something like that, and this thing is well over 100.
Yeah.
I think it was 140 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, you're getting good quality, but I wouldn't buy it just for Quacks. But I don't know what game I would use this for because it would have to be a game that there's a lot of resources in and not much else.
And not a mat, yeah.
And there's not a lot of those games. But the small one, I could see that one again on the side of the table. But then does it have to be a Lazy Susan?
Right.
But I'm sure that you could find games for these and pick. You can kind of pick and choose which of these. And even these, are these worth it outside?
You could move, you could just pull this and put it on the other side of the table for somebody. You lose the Lazy Susan aspect, but you'll still have some bits over there. I guess for me, the thing that we've seen this kind of thing in the past, Lazy Susan or not, but container bins, some sort of display solution for your bits and bobs during gaming. We've seen that a lot. I think the thing that impresses me about this one is it doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel 3D printed.
Right.
It doesn't feel cobbled together. It's a good feel.
Has a luxury feel to it.
Yeah. Without maybe being that much of a luxury, because it is not, You know, it doesn't look like it's or feel like it's from one of like the table makers. You
Right,
know, it's
like the
not
Wormwood type
that
thing,
level,
yeah.
but
It's close.
it feels good.
This one is probably my favorite just as far as like functionality. Everybody gets it. You get the cards. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just keeping these and using these for some games. That might work. Right?
Yeah.
Especially if you have colors. Anyway, if you want to find it, it's Modern Meeple, 2 words. So check them out. And that's it for Board Game Smorgasbord, folks. We are going to end here because we are getting ready to play Robo Rally. The same 3 of us. One of us never having played before.
And I'm going to win. I'm going to actually go to win this time. I'm going to go in just hot. I'm going to kill you.
You might
all.
win. You could win. Robo Rally, some things might happen you don't expect. It's possible you'll win. You also might get shanked.
Probably.
With a toothbrush. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
Have fun. We'll see you soon. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another video from the Dice Tower. Hey, you want to learn more about us, communicate with us? We have a Facebook group, we have a Discord channel, lots of different ways to get involved with the Dice Tower. And you can find that in our Linktree link below. So just click that, it will take you and you can communicate with us on Facebook, join our Facebook groups. There's lots of cool things that you can find and become part of the Dice Tower. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Tom Vassell.